Can a single preparation gives you the success into the MPSC and the UPSC examination? Is it a wise decision to do simultaneous preparation, or is it a waste of time? In this video, we will understand the reality of the MPSC and UPSC examination and try to understand the approach for this simultaneous preparation for the MPSC and UPSC examination. Hello everyone, my name is Dinesh Nandurbare. I welcome you into the Dhyan Jyoti Education. So students, you may have known that the MPSC had changed its structure of the examination from the 2025. Now the MPSC is conducting examination very much similar examination on the pattern very much similar to the UPSC examination, the prelims, mains and the interview, correct? So from this year onwards, the MPSC is now conducting from last year onwards, the MPSC is now conducting the descriptive pattern mains examination. So a question which occurs among the students frequently, that if the pattern of the MPSC and UPSC examination is same, then can a student or can a person can a person practice the MPSC and UPSC preparation at the same time? So that's the very important questions. So before answering to that question or before diving into the topic, let us understand what is the ground reality. We understood that MPSC and UPSC both are premium institutions which conduct the examination, but their scopes are very different. UPSC is conducting the examination for the complete India, while the MPSC is conducting examination for the Maharashtra Public Service Commission. So that's why the MPSC and UPSC have the common structure for the examination, but their scopes are very different. So that brings some differentiation in the preparation pattern, but the majority of the syllabus and the exam pattern is quite similar for the MPSC and UPSC. So that's why if you perform the perfect strategy, then it is very much possible to perform have the simultaneous preparation for the MPSC and the UPSC examination. Before moving forward, Dhyan Jyoti Education have come up with a Nirman batch. Now this Nirman batch is the foundation batch, basic foundation batch. Now this Nirman batch will help those aspirants who want to start their preparation, who are undergraduate particularly. So this Nirman batch is of the 3-year batch, foundation batch. In these 3 years, Dhyan Jyoti Education is helping students to prepare for their examination so that they can achieve their dreams in their early attempts. So this Nirman batch is available in online and offline mode. It is available in Marathi and English medium languages. Those interested students, they can contact on this number 788-799-2834, or they can simply message into the comment box. We will contact you. Now Dhyan Jyoti Education is helping a number of students in their preparation by offering the books, the quality books. Dhyan Jyoti Education have come up with the complete study material, which includes the NCERTs, the prelims specific study material, as well as the main specific study material. These are the just samples of the study materials. If you want to have a complete preparation for your examination, these books will guide you throughout your preparation. For more detail, you can just text me into the comment box. We will reach up to you. Now moving to the topic. So MPSC and UPSC, they have a similar pattern of the examination in which the UPSC is going through prelims, mains and interview stages. Similarly, the MPSC is also going through prelims, mains and interview stages. So the pattern, the structure of the examination is quite similar, but there are some minor changes, very minor. The prelims is almost same. The pattern of the prelims examination is almost same, which include the GS, that is General Studies, and CSAT for MPSC and UPSC. The mains examination, the pattern of the mains examination is also same. Both the MPSC and UPSC have the descriptive pattern of mains, in which the essay, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 papers, optional paper and language papers are there. The difference is in the language paper. In UPSC, you have multiple options as a language paper, in which you have one compulsory English, and you can have another optional, another language from the 22 languages into the schedule of the Indian Constitution. But in MPSC, you will have two language paper, that is Marathi and English. So here you have a Marathi compulsory and the English compulsory language paper. That's the only difference. Otherwise, the mains and the mains pattern for the MPSC and UPSC is similar, completely similar. Even the number of question into the examination are similar. The duration of the examination is similar, correct? So the pattern of the MPSC and UPSC examination is similar. Even the marks for the questions and the total examination are also similar. And the last part is interview. Both MPSC and UPSC have the common structure for the interview. So we can say the structure of the examination for MPSC and UPSC is almost similar. So you need to prepare for the same exam pattern. Earlier, MPSC, when the MPSC had the objective mains pattern, in that objective pattern of the mains examination in MPSC, student find difficulty in making preparation for the MPSC and UPSC simultaneously, because MPSC mains is descriptive pattern and UPSC is a objective pattern. But now the problem is over. MPSC and UPSC have the common examination pattern. If you dive into the syllabus of this examination, then you can see the almost more than 70% syllabus is common. Yes, of course, there are differences. We are going to talk about the differences in the upcoming slides. But the syllabus, the majority of the syllabus for the MPSC and the UPSC examination are similar. For example, there are common subjects: history, polity, economy, geography, environment, science, science and technology, ethics, current affairs. Almost all these subjects are very much common. So where is the difference? The difference lies in the focus point. MPSC and UPSC both have different focus for the common subjects. They have common subjects, but the focus are different. So in UPSC, you will find the conceptual understanding about the every topic. So UPSC is habitual to ask more concept-based questions in prelims as well as in mains, while the MPSC is largely asking you factual questions. Largely they are asking you factual questions. So that's the first difference. The scope are different, correct? The UPSC is focused on the global and the national level affairs, correct? So whether it is the geography, history, polity, environment, anything, UPSC's larger focus is on the national and the international affairs. But the MPSC will largely focused on the Maharashtra specific events. So that's how the scopes are getting different. Understood? But the topics are common. Topics are common. All those topics which you are going to refer, which you are going to study into the UPSC are similar to the MPSC also. In MPSC preparation, you need to add some Maharashtra specific content. That's how the MPSC and UPSC preparation getting different. Okay? But largely, more than 70% of the syllabus are common. So that's the differences. You need to focus on these differences between MPSC and UPSC. So the next question arises in our mind: how to start our preparation? Because we now understand the structure of the examination is almost same. The syllabus, more than 70% of the syllabus is also same. Yes, of course, there is a difference in the scope of the MPSC and UPSC examination. That means the MPSC will ask you question more specific to the Maharashtra. For example, if MPSC is asking you question on the history, then MPSC will ask you the Bhakti movement in Maharashtra, while the UPSC will ask you the Bhakti movement throughout the India. So that's the difference in scope, which I'm talking about. So the MPSC and UPSC will have a different scope, but the majority syllabus for the MPSC and UPSC examination are common, similar. You can refer single book, single content for both the preparation where the syllabus is overlapping and common. Understood? But how to start the preparation? So it required strategy. Without having a strategy to perform the simultaneous preparation for the MPSC and UPSC examination, you will just get straight into the preparation. You will never reach up to the goal if you do not have a common strategy. So in order to have a common strategy, you need to focus on these three things. First, thorough understanding about the topic. Prepare subjects at depth. History, geography, polity, economics, science, these are the 5 core subjects. Along with this, ethics is there, essay is there, and number of smaller subjects are there. You need to have a core understanding about these common topics, because MPSC and UPSC have these topics in common. So when we say core understanding means the conceptual understanding about these topics. First thing first, because the conceptual understanding is common for both MPSC and UPSC examination. Then you need to add Maharashtra specific content, so that your preparation will be in line with the MPSC's syllabus, correct? So Maharashtra specific content will be there for the MPSC preparation. For example, you are studying the let's say you are studying the economics, correct? So when you are studying the economics, you need to focus on the national economics as well as you need to focus on the Maharashtra specific economics, correct? So you need to add that Maharashtra specific economics. When you studying geography, you need to add Maharashtra specific geography. So that's what I am saying you, the Maharashtra specific layers should be added. And last, the practice. Last is practice. Because MPSC is having the history of asking more factual question, more local questions, correct? While the UPSC is habitual to ask the more global and the national question, that too on the core understanding about the topics, correct? So you need to practice both type of answer writing and both types of prelims questions. Then and only then you can have the balance of the preparation for MPSC and UPSC. So always remember, practice for the MPSC and UPSC examination should be precisely made, correct? So these are the core preparation strategy. Let's explore them in detail. First thing, so how to start your preparation? So initially you need to look into the syllabus, correct? So when you look into the syllabus, you will surprise that the MPSC and UPSC syllabus is almost identical for the prelims as well as for the mains, almost identical, correct? Except MPSC add one word extra, that everything which is related to the Maharashtra is very, very important. That means, for example, UPSC will say you that modern history of India is this part of the syllabus for UPSC preparation. MPSC will say the modern history of India with more focus on Maharashtra. So they will add focus on Maharashtra. So that's the difference between MPSC and UPSC syllabus. If you go on the official sites and download the syllabus, then you will get the identical syllabus, but MPSC will ask you the more have a more focus on the Maharashtra specific content, whether it is history, geography, polity or any other subject. Understood? So first thing you need to perform is the division of the total syllabus or division of the topic, where you found the common topics. So just list them, the common topic. So history, polity, economy, geography, environment and science, these are the common topics you will found into the syllabus. So these are the common subjects, these are the core subjects, and you need to prepare all the subjects for MPSC and UPSC with the equal weightage. With the equal weightage. So that's the first step you need to understand, correct? Prepare the common topics, correct? Now the notes of this common topic should be common for MPSC and UPSC. You can have or you can refer the common core subjects or the notes of the subjects for the MPSC examination as well as for the UPSC examination. No need to bring any changes to these common core topics. For example, the non-cooperation movement will be common for the MPSC and UPSC examination. So you do not have to make a separate notes for the MPSC and UPSC preparation, that non-cooperation movement for Maharashtra, MPSC examination, non-cooperation movement for the UPSC examination. No, it is not required because these are the common topics, correct? then you are going to have a separate note for the MPSC and UPSC focus point. Correct? Now, UPSC, as we understand, largely focus on national and international affairs. Largely, it focused on national and international affairs. So, you will prepare your UPSC focused notes with this attitude. है ना? So, whatever events in these subjects are very much important for the national and international affairs, you just make notes of those events. For example, the world history and the world geography, है ना? International relations with the more focused on the international community and the national level strategies, internal securities, correct? More advanced essays because UPSC is conducting the descriptive pattern examination since many time, correct? So the level of essay into the UPSC examination are very, very tough. You need to prepare for those essays, correct? Compared to the MPSC, UPSC's essays are quite hard. Understood? Their topic are quite hard. So you need to prepare for them. Understood? So these are the UPSC focus point. Similarly, you can draw the MPSC focus point and you can create a separate note for them. For example, you are preparing for the history. So there are common point for the history, but there are Maharashtra specific history. For example, the labor movement into the Maharashtra. Just make a separate note for the Maharashtra history, that point. है ना? Under Maharashtra history, labor movement in Maharashtra. Under Maharashtra history, the women's reform movement in Maharashtra. Correct? So similarly, you can have a separate Maharashtra specific notes or content here. है ना? Similarly, Maharashtra geography, Maharashtra economy, and the Maharashtra specific policies and schemes. So you will have the separate note with the MPSC focus. Correct? So in order to have a simultaneous preparation, you need to go with the strategy in which you will divide your all preparation and the notes as a common topic, UPSC focused topics and the MPSC focused topics, and you will maintain those preparation and the notes, correct, throughout your preparation. So that's the one important step. Next, to have a common preparation for the MPSC and UPSC, you need to have a common optional subject also. है ना? As you know that MPSC and UPSC mains examination have a one optional subject. That one optional subject is divided into two paper, correct? Optional paper 1, optional paper 2. So MPSC and UPSC both have now this optional paper. The optional paper structure is also similar for the MPSC and UPSC examination, correct? That means paper 1, paper 2. For example, if you opt for the history optional, then you will have ancient and medieval history in paper 1, correct? Modern and world history in the paper 2. So the similar structure you will found in MPSC and UPSC examination at both levels. So that's why I told you that MPSC and UPSC have the common optional paper structure, correct? So you need to focus on these topics very, very carefully, because this optional weigh almost 500, minimum 500 marks, because there are some optional subjects which have an additional weightage into the GS also, so they can increase the total weightage of the subject. And for example, if you opt for the history optional, then history optional have a overlapping GS topics also. So that's why you will have more than 500 marks for that one single subject in mains examination. There are similar other subjects too. So, but at least 500 marks is the weightage for the optional, correct? So, when you are preparing for the optional subject, I will recommend you please choose the common subject for the MPSC and UPSC, because MPSC have a optional subject list, UPSC have their own optional subject list. The optional for the MPSC and UPSC are almost similar, but UPSC have some additional literature specific optional subjects. So I will recommend you avoid those exclusive UPSC specific optional subject and just choose optional subject which is common in MPSC and UPSC. For example, history, geography, sociology, anthropology, such are subjects which are common in MPSC and UPSC. Their examination structure is common in MPSC and UPSC. So if you choose the common subject as an optional for the MPSC and UPSC examination, it will help you a lot. A lot means a lot, because this single optional subject will help you into the MPSC examination also and the UPSC examination also. So please have the common optional subject for MPSC and UPSC examination. Correct? So that is the game changing decision, है ना, you should make. It will save your time for the preparation, because now you don't have to prepare the separate optional for the MPSC and UPSC examination. It improves conceptual depth, because when you have to study the same subject for the MPSC and UPSC, it's quite natural that you will go in depth for the thorough understanding for MPSC and UPSC benefits, है ना. It will avoid duplications, because now you don't have to study for longer period, because you have a common subject for MPSC and UPSC. It will increase your confidence. These are the benefits for the common subject as a common optional subject for MPSC and UPSC preparation. Now this is the important consideration you need to have. Correct? Please think thoroughly before choosing your optional subject. If you want to have a simultaneous preparation for the MPSC and UPSC examination, please focus on this point. Correct? Next, current affairs strategy. Now, as we discussed that MPSC and UPSC, although have a similar structure for the examination, almost syllabus pattern is also same, but their scopes are different. Correct? MPSC will ask you more about the regional topics, regional issues, while UPSC will ask you about the national and international issues, national and international topics. Correct? So that's why it will create confusion in the minds of the aspirants that where to focus for the preparation, है ना? So that's quite natural. So for current affair preparation, you need to focus on all these three levels: for Maharashtra specific, for national, and for the international events also. Because national and international events are very important for the UPSC examination, while the Maharashtra specific events or the regional events are very important for the MPSC examination. Correct? So always remember, you need to focus on these three different topics with regards to the current affair preparation: regional, that is Maharashtra specific, national, and the international events. Correct? For that, I will recommend you use national level newspaper, है ना. Don't use regional level newspaper, because there are many newspapers around you, है ना. Some are regional, some are nationals, है ना. So I will recommend you just have the newspaper like Indian Express, The Hindu in English medium. If you are preparing in Marathi, Lok Satta is the best alternative option. Correct? So use this national level newspaper, है ना. So that's my personal recommendation to you. Now this national level newspaper will cover all international, national, and state specific news for your current affairs strategy, है ना. And the last step is answer writing practices, because mains is all about answer writing, and answer writing is a skill. Unless and until you develop this skill, your study is useless, because you are studying. So study is just one part of your preparation. Presentation of the knowledge, that means answer writing, is the another part of your preparation. So please focus on this answer writing skills of yours. It's very important. Now when you are trying to increase your skill about the answer writing, please remember MPSC and UPSC, both examination have a different focus points. Correct? Where MPSC is largely focusing on the factual point, UPSC is largely at the same point, UPSC is focused on the conceptual understanding about the topic. So when you are practicing your answer writing, please practice answer writing in both style: factual answer writing also and the conceptual style of answer writing also, because then and only then it will be beneficial for you. If you perform both type of answer writing, then you will have mastery over the answer writing for MPSC and UPSC both. Now when we say UPSC answer writing, so they are largely analytical and they are multidimensional. Multidimensional means what? Generally UPSC will combine all different aspects of your preparation into the single question. That means there will be a single question in mains examination. That single question will require knowledge from the history, geography, economics. Correct? So that's why we call them as a multidimensional topics, questions. Correct? Now UPSC, sorry, my mistake, the MPSC largely focused on the factual questions, and the MPSC's question will be pretty much straightforward, because MPSC just now entered into the new preparation, new descriptive pattern of the examination. So I don't think so that MPSC will bring that multidimensionality into the single questions. So in my personal opinion, that MPSC will keep the question straight ahead. So simple, straight ahead. So that's why you need to prepare for both type of answer writing. And always remember, in MPSC, Maharashtra specific examples are very, very important. Always remember this thing. Whenever you are trying to have a answer writing for the MPSC preparation, use examples Maharashtra specific. That's very, very important, correct? So that's how you can differentiate your UPSC and the MPSC examination. Okay. Again, one just recommendation to you. You can use the Maharashtra specific examples into the UPSC also. है ना? So UPSC will not bother about the Maharashtra specific examples if you use in the examination. So don't get confused. If your topics are common, just try to mention the examples Maharashtra specific for the UPSC and MPSC examination. It will help your answer writing. है ना? So these are the answer writing strategies. And now the last but the very much important issue, that is language, medium of language. Now MPSC offers you two language for your answer writing in mains examination. One is Marathi, another is English. While the UPSC offers you bunch of languages for your answer writing. You can have answer writing in Konkani also, in Marathi also, in English also, in Urdu also, and blah blah blah. There are many more languages. Actually, you can opt any of the 22 language present into the schedule of the Indian Constitution. Okay, but MPSC will give you two options only. So if you want to have a simultaneous preparation, you have only two options for answer writing. If you are preparing for the MPSC and UPSC simultaneously, by default, you have only two options for language, English and Marathi. Correct? Now, it's your choice which language you should prefer for the MPSC and UPSC preparation simultaneously. Correct? Because English and Marathi languages are permissible into the MPSC as well as in UPSC preparation. In my personal opinion, I will recommend you English language for your preparation, for simultaneous preparation, because there are certain reasons attached to it. Now, see, the major problem is that MPSC largely focused on Maharashtra, correct? And for MPSC preparation, you will get large number of content in Marathi language also. Correct? Maharashtra specific content. But when it comes to the national and international level preparation, then Marathi language content is limited. Marathi language content is limited. So that's the biggest issue. So when you are preparing in Marathi language, you will need to search for more and more content. And you will not get all the content for your preparation in Marathi language in one place. Correct? So that's why it will increase your efforts for the preparation. While use of English language for your preparation will solve this problem, because UPSC is conducting the examination since many years and large number of content have been generated already in English language. Similarly, even in MPSC also large number of content is available in English language. So English is that language which offers you the bunch of content or the spectrum of content for the MPSC and UPSC examination. For example, when you opt for the optional subject, you will feel that this issue is very, very important, because for the optional, you have to study more. You have to study number of books, correct? And for that, language become the barrier now. Because for example, you want to study history as optional, then you will get very limited content for the world history in Marathi. Correct? You will get modern history in Marathi, you will get ancient history in Marathi, but you will get very limited knowledge, very limited content for the world history in Marathi. So that's how those who are preparing the history optional in Marathi will face some challenges. But this problem can be solved in English very easily, because in English you will have all type of material available throughout the country and in the Maharashtra also. So I will recommend you, please, think over this topic and use English as your medium of writing into the mains examination, है ना? Because English will provide you abundant resources, better conceptual clarity, because since many years the content have been preparing into the English language, so it is getting refined and refined every year. Okay, so that's why better conceptual clarity, with the better conceptual clarity the content is getting prepared, है ना? It will provide you uniform preparation for the MPSC and UPSC examination. So these are the important benefit of having the English as your medium of answer writing in the, or medium of preparation into the examination. Okay, so these are the benefit for the MPSC student. Again, in prelims also English will help you a lot, because in prelims UPSC, so they will have question paper in English and Hindi, correct? In MPSC you will have paper in English and Marathi. So if you are preparing Marathi, you will get upper hand in, or you will get the Marathi question paper in MPSC, but you will not get the Marathi question paper in UPSC. So in UPSC you have two options, Hindi and English, correct? So if you are preparing in Marathi, you will get difficulty in prelims, है ना? So that's why I am saying you, if you want to start your preparation simultaneously for MPSC and UPSC, please consider this recommendation, है ना, of English as a medium of instruction. Now lastly, the benefits of the simultaneous preparation, correct? First thing first, it will give you higher selection probability. What do you mean by this? UPSC notify its examination once in a year, है ना? साल में एक बार आती है यूपीएससी की एग्जामिनेशन, एमपीएससी भी साल में एक बार आती है, करेक्ट? पहले क्या होता था कि एमपीएससी और यूपीएससी दो अलग अलग एग्जामिनेशन होती थी, है ना? पैटर्न अलग अलग होता था। इसलिए अगर यूपीएससी का कोई स्टूडेंट है जो यूपीएससी में प्रिपरेशन कर रहा है, तो उसके लिए बस यूपीएससी का साल में जो एक बार अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रहा है उतना ही स्कोप है, उतनी ही विंडो उसके पास सक्सेस के लिए। लेकिन अगर आप साइमल्टेनियस प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो एमपीएससी और यूपीएससी के लिए, तो आपको सेम प्रिपरेशन पे दो विंडो मिल रही है, एक यूपीएससी की, दूसरी एमपीएससी की, करेक्ट? तो आप दो अपॉर्चुनिटीज को एंजॉय कर सकते हो विद द सेम प्रिपरेशन, विद द ऑलमोस्ट सेम प्रिपरेशन, अंडरस्टूड? सो दैट्स व्हाई इट विल इंक्रीज योर selection probability. Appearing for the two examination increase the opportunity windows, है ना? So that's very much important. Second, for simultaneous preparation will increase your efficiency in preparation, because with the minimum time you will have the maximum output for both examination, MPSC and UPSC. And lastly, if you are very much serious in the simultaneous preparation, I will guarantee you that your answer writing skill will be fabulous. And if you follow the strategy, smart strategy for your answer writing also, your answer writing will be tremendous and will be very much fabulous, correct? Simply you can just write any answer in MPSC and UPSC if you are preparing for the MPSC and UPSC simultaneously, है ना? If you want to have a separate strategy for the answer writing for the MPSC and UPSC, please let me know. You can write into the comment box, correct? We will come up with the another session for the answer writing for the MPSC and UPSC.